What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the drone show. I got a continuation of the ALTSTONE Fukami series today. We're going to finish it off with the Fukami 8000. The 8000 grit, I've had a big interest in what it's going to do versus these others. I'm obviously sure it's going to do amazingly compared to what I've seen from everything below it. But we're going to finish it off on this wonderful little Hatsukokoro Bunka, an AOGAMI 2 steel. This thing's actually doing really nice. One of the things I want to do after this is I'm gonna continue to thin it out and put another kind of Kasumi finish on it to try and restore it a little bit more, because I realize that I've still got some gouges I need to work out. But aside of that, this thing's been doing really well considering. It's been sharpening up nice and sharp and crisp, and once I got the burrs taken care of, which it's kind of weird that AOGAMI 2 is having some what I call sticky burrs, but it is what it is. Everything's going to have its own little thing. The stone has been soaking, again, as with the 5000. No bubbles that I saw at all. Haven't submerged the Nagura yet. Go ahead and toss it in there and just kind of see. Immediately, there's no bubbles from it where the 5000 did. Don't know if it'll take a few seconds, maybe it will. I don't know. Either way, it'll be fine. Wanted to just get across a couple quick things. So I spoke to the company this morning because I told you guys that it looked like some stock was out on Amazon for these stones. They are sending more stock, so there should be some soon. So anybody that went to go buy them and only saw that 300 was in stock, they are being replenished. If you'd just be patient, they're going to get that back in there for you guys. Another thing is the 5 people that I was telling you I would give away some paste wax to. So I have a couple addresses. I'm going to reach out to the others just to make sure I have your stuff. But if there's anyone else interested, the next 5 in this video that didn't already get in the other video I mentioned, I'll send out 5 more. I got quite a bit of it to go around, so I don't mind spreading the love here. Let's see, other than that, yeah, so that will be back in stock. You can find these Fukamis on eBay. You're going to overpay for them. That's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, but I would wait until they came back in stock in Amazon, because one of the big appeals is the price. Now, all that being said, had I paid what is being asked on eBay by other sellers, what they're asking for these stones without knowing that they were a lower price, I would be 1000% satisfied based on the performance of these stones. So take that how you want. That's up to you. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Get the stone out of the little pond here. I never did really mention, maybe in one other video I did, this is a DMD Tools, well, it says whetstone holder. I promise I wasn't just reading it. But it's the DMD whetstone holder. It's kind of like the Kaz fly. Kaz fly is like $200-300 or something insane. But it has the screws here where you can adjust. This one I don't adjust as much. It actually has kind of set screws because it helps you set it in place and also helps to set the bridge's length based on where you're putting it. So I just leave this one just kind of alone. But it has these Kaz fly has wing nuts. This has just these little round nuts. But one of the things it does here is it's super, you got this little thing in the middle. You can adjust to all kinds of stone sizes. And sure, with those other stone holders, like those rubber ones that everybody uses, those are great. But this is good because it's the actual bridge. I've got a Nanawa sink bridge, and I like that thing that you put those other ones on, but I just got tired of its limit as far as adjustments go. So anyway, you can get this thing, I think like $30 on Amazon, maybe. I know it's not very much. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it. I may have paid less than $30. But anyway, it's a good little deal. I don't mind it at all. I definitely promise you that no matter how good the Kaz fly is, I will never pay that amount of money for a sink bridge, unless I'm just a billionaire. So if you guys can get me a ton of ad revenue, maybe I'll buy myself one and give a lucky winner one. Either way, we've got a large snow front coming in, so I plan on making a lot of videos this weekend for you guys too. I'm gonna do probably my Green Brick of Joy, and so I'm gonna do my Morihei 4K. Haven't really given that thing a showcase yet. I love that stone, so I'll pop it up there. But without further ado, I'm gonna get started on this one. This is the ALTSTONE Fukami 8000. Real quick, I almost forgot. I do this in every video just in case someone's not watched the others. Just to be transparent completely, this is a sponsored video. I actually approached ALTSTONE after buying the 1000 grit, so I had used the stones already. I liked the way that it was, the way it cut and everything else, the performance so much. That's why I approached the company and asked them, and in return they liked what they saw, and they sent me these stones. They didn't have time to cherry pick them, so it's not like they said we're going to send them the best of the best. These actually came out of a warehouse, like an Amazon warehouse. So it's not like they sent me the best thing to showcase for you guys. So this is sponsored, but I do have freedom to say whatever I want. So I'm not being told I must say that these are amazing. So if something sucks, or if I have an issue, or there's a problem, I'll let you know. Other than that, let's get started, and here we go. As usual, I'm going to let you guys hear the first few strokes for sure, or the first pass at least, and that'll give me a chance to take it in here and see how she feels. Here we go. That feels amazing. Much like the 5K. Actually, if you look at this one, so if you remember, the 5K did this too, and so did the 3K, but I had a little harder time wiping it off with my fingers. It did not affect the 3K or the 5K with the load up, but this one seems to come off a little easier here. So we are, of course, now in the polishing stage with an 8K stone. Well, 3K, 5K, 8K. 3K was more of a setup as well as polish, but anyway. So we're not applying like loads of pressure. We're not trying to raise some crazy burr, and you're not going to with the higher grit stone. You're just refining your edge further. You're polishing out the scratches and the scratch pattern, making it smoother, which of course at the end of the video, I'll put up the scratch pattern and comparing all the stones from the 300 to this 8000. But yeah, so we're just trying to get these scratch patterns out, make it nice and smooth, and just refine that edge further, right? So the way it felt, you heard it. It sounded similar to the 5K. If I had to say how it felt, I would say it felt like the 5K. I didn't really notice anything except for possibly, and again, it could just be my mind knowing that I'm on an 8K, but it felt a little smoother, a little more glidey, where the 5K felt a little more draggy. Anyway, so yeah, I'd say smoother. Feels again like I'm on a glass top. This one, because I said before what the others felt like, again, feels like the Sharpen 8K, but also it feels like my Sharpen Kuramako 12,000. So take that for what it's worth. I actually did the 12,000 just yesterday. I was working on a knife for myself, and I used the 12K just to have it because I haven't done it in a while. And this feels very similar as far as that feedback goes. So the feedback, yeah, is great. And again, it's very snappy. The others have been snappy, and so is this one. So let's continue on. You can definitely see the evidence there that the steel is being removed and polished here, because there it is. Also want to take this time to say I appreciate you guys' support. It really means a lot. And I promise you, as you'll see, the more you stick around, you'll see that I give back to my community. Yeah, and I know and will never ever forget that the reason that I'm doing this is for to demonstrate, of course, but also for you, the viewers. So I will never ever forget my viewers. That's a fact. I've been doing some live streaming and stuff for a long time, and I've had quite a few communities, and I've never ever taken my audience for granted. So I just wanted you guys to know that. So before I move to the other side, I'm just going to lightly take out the load up that's there. Again, it did not affect anything. I did not feel any decline. I did not see any decline. I'm getting ready to check the burr again just to make sure that we're even here. Probably should have done that first, but got a little ahead of myself. There is a micro burr. Yeah. So we're good. We are going to move to the other side. I'm going to use this Nagura just to condition the surface. Actually, I'm going to do two things. I am going to condition the surface, and I'm going to swap the sides, but then I'm going to use the Nagura to raise the slurry, and I'm not going to rinse the slurry off, and I'll do each side one time after doing that, just to see if it adds anything. Here we go, side two. Man, it just feels like butter. And you can hear, like, it sounds so smooth, even like the sound of it lets you know that it's a very smooth stone. It kind of, I've said it before, but just to kind of give you an idea, if you were to take like a smooth piece of metal and then take a tempered glass pane and just lightly scoot it across with just an ever so slight amount of pressure, I would say that's what it feels like. Very pleasant, like it's pleasing, which probably sounds weird, but it's yeah, it has like this pleasantness to it. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. I did, of course, flatten this whenever I received it. I did not run anything on it, just a flattening stone. To do that, I used an Atoma 400, and then I didn't even resurface it with the Nagura, actually. I just did the Atoma, and everything was perfect. Man, that is a beautiful edge. Just double check and make sure that we're tossing that little tiny teensy burr over. All right, we're going to do this again. I'm actually excited to get the other stones out and thin this thing. I thinned it on the King L400, the big chonk brick. That's what I'm going to call it, the chonker. And that worked out well, but I'm going to use something different this time to further thin it out so I can just get all those gouges completely gone. This will be a super thin bunka by the time I'm done with it, probably. Which isn't exactly what I want, but it is what it is. I was talking to, was it Jason? I hope I got his name right, who's in the comments. He's a watcher, a fan. Well, yeah. I say a fan, a viewer of the channel, because I called this knife garbage. So that I like to joke around a lot. It's not really garbage. I was extremely disappointed when I got it, and that's in that other video. I explained that, but yeah, it's not really garbage. It just needed way more work than what the price commanded. So that's the better way to say it. All right, one more set of passes, and then we're going to do the slurry. I've been watching the FX show Justified again, and every time I say slurry, it makes me think of them talking about the slurry ponds out there in Kentucky. Kentucky. Okay, just making sure we got the flippy floppy, and we do. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the buildup. This one might be a little bit longer than the others have been, and that's just because I'm going to take a little time doing this kind of stuff at the end. All right, that buildup is gone. Again, it did not affect cutting in any way that I could tell. So that's not to say that maybe it wouldn't if I continued, but in the immediate moment and what I was doing, there was nothing lost. All right, so first I'm going to dress the surface with this. It always, everyone I've ever seen always suggests these circular motions. Don't know why. I've never had to do that before, but you know what, it says to do it, so this is how I'm going to do it. Okay. So now that we got a slurry built up on here, I'm going to do a little bit more actually. Put a little pressure on the stone. I mean, you can see it running off there. Little white aluminum mud. Good Lord. Boy, that thing is flat. You see that? That surface tension? That's what that means when that happens. Your surface tension is able to make a suction action. So I'm going to do stropping strokes for the polishing maneuver here. So I'll do, I don't know, 5 or 10 on this side and 5 or 10 on the other. And we're going to do complete full follow-throughs here. This is going to be a little different because technically this is kind of going to do some burr removal instead of the way that I normally do it anyway. I am going to do some more sharpening tutorial videos after this as well. I'm going to do it on an Aogami Super with a Shirogami number 2 and then blue number 2. And I'm going to do it with various stones, and one of them is going to be well, I don't know, I'll figure out different ones to do it with. What maybe I'll do is like a sharpening and then a polishing series, right? So we'll do your sharpening grits, and then we'll do your polishing grits, and we'll just do them at different times. Make a series out of it. And kind of give it like the whole process, you know, maybe that's a good idea. Like how you determine, you know, when to move, like when do you go to the next stone, like what next stones, how do you decide what stones you're even going to go to and move. Get a little better grip here. I'm not so good at doing this left-handed. I've gotten way better. But I'm still not super confident. By the way, I can still feel that slight burr on this side. So we will remove it. And then we'll get on to the Stropping. This little, maybe like a little U or something there. All right, I'm going to wipe this off real quick. Let's see. Actually, maybe I did remove the burr. Well, it's still there and up here some. Down here, I don't feel it anymore. I do there. So I'm just going to do the edge leading strokes real quick, and I'm going to actually apply a little bit more pressure and a slightly higher angle. Just because I noticed with this knife, that's kind of what is required to fully remove the burr. Don't know why, but through my experience. So as you see, my fingers are following the pressure point of the blade here. So if I've got pressure starting here, you'll see my fingers will just kind of stay with it there. Same thing, go in the opposite direction. And that's just so you can maintain even pressure like wherever you're wanting it to be. So for me, it's the middle of the stone. That's actually a burr that just embedded itself, small piece of the burr. That's funny. That was kind of what I talked about before. That'll happen. I know you guys probably can't see that on camera. It's a little line of metal. And maybe it just gouged it and marked it up after that, but I watched the burr come off, and then there it is. Anyway. Still there. Just going to do a couple quick stropping strokes now. I'll tell you what, this stone is a pleasure to sharpen on. Like, I want to take out a bunch of knives after I turn the video off and just keep it up. Alright. Now I'm going to use a standard suede strop after this to just ensure that I have the burr gone. But I'm going to clean the stone first. No stone goes down dirty. I'm a freak like that. Like, it literally would make me wake up in the middle of the night and come down and clean it. Not the stone, but the fact that it's dirty. They don't talk to me, I promise, guys. They don't talk to me. Yet. I haven't reached that level. Okay, oh God. That splurged me in the face. Okay, now we're going to dry off this 8000. We're going to go put it on the drying table over here. How many of you would like to see, like in one of the videos I show you my stones? I'm talking about my sharpening stones now. I can't resist, sorry. But yeah, I could take a video and give a little panoramic shot of what I got. I was a poet, didn't even know it there. Okay. Bring you on back. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and just examine the edge real quick and put it under this light. I'm going to bring that back to you guys here. You should be able to see that, but man, does that edge glow. Yeah. So yeah, first things first is I noticed that. That's pretty cool. Real quick, what I'm going to do to make sure I got the burr removed, because this thing works amazingly. So I got this hanging strap that's just hanging off to the side here. I just give it a little, you can't see it. Actually, maybe I can. Let you see it here. There we go. I just give it a little tension. Make sure, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I give it some good tension. And then I just, on the suede side here, because it's got the smooth side, suede side, and just give her some strokes. I put a little bit of pressure, not much, but a little bit to make sure that it's going to take the burr off. My computer says hello. Okay. Come on back, Jack. Ooh. Made the adjustment. Okay. All right, so where I felt the burr was on this end here and a little bit back here. So if I just run my fingers down it, I don't feel any burr. Okay. So that's good. Let me adjust this because this is not right. Sorry about that. Maybe I shouldn't move my stuff. There we go. Yeah, that's right. That's close enough anyway. I'm going to bring you back down here. I'm going to bring out my Jinda Industries, the Nano Cloth Ultra. And again, like I said before, that says 0.5 micron, which is what's on here, but the strop itself is just, they're just color coded so you know which one has what stuff on it, because there's no actual grit rating for the strop. It's all determined by what poly diamond emulsion you put on it. And of course that one's 0.5 micron. And I said this before too, with these honeycomb fibers on this strop, whenever you put your blade down, it will help you detect where the bevel is, because as you move the knife and as you adjust to try and find the right angle, you'll actually feel suction and it'll actually drag. So you know for sure that you found the right position on the strop. So here we go. So right there I'm pushing and it's giving me resistance. So I know for a fact that I found the proper angle. It also helps that I, mess with the angle of this thing about 1,000,001 times. I said it myself. I'm not going to do very many passes because I don't need to. I did it on the other one. Just going to kind of make sure we're all good. All right. By the way, Jason, wanted to ask you, and I think I remember your name correctly. It's I know it's long, but either way, with New Zealand, I've actually wanted to visit New Zealand for a long time. I hear it's really beautiful out there. Just drop me a comment, let me know. I mean, obviously there's a lot of beauty out there, but how easy is it for someone from the US to visit? Because I know they've got strict guidelines sometimes on that thing. Anyway, just shoot me a comment, let me know. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to listen how clean and quiet it cuts. I'm going to barely put any pressure on the knife. I'm going to barely grip it. Actually, I'll just hold it with these two fingers and we'll listen. Oh. Holy cow. That was super quiet. Super quiet. Oh my gosh. It's making more noise with the part of the knife actually touching the paper. Holy crap. All right, push cuts. Let's go over here. This is a clean edge, so I'm going to start there. Oops. I scooped off. But as you can see, it's doing it. Straight on through. Whenever it jags up, that happens, but either way, it's doing it. Oops, that was my fault. There we go. Get over here. I'm gonna get a different piece of paper, because that's bullshit. And there it goes. Yeah, let's try this piece of paper. I'm gonna leave it in there because I tell you, make sure that we leave in all the mistakes and crap. Yeah, so that paper was kind of wet in one spot, just a little bitty spot, but it was all wrinkled up. Good Lord, it wouldn't do trigonometry on its own. Look at that. Over here. You know what else would be a good test? First of all, doing our little trigonometry. Let's do a little paper towelage. And again, this knife will not be perfect. I said that in that one video. Those gouges do make a difference. But let's go ahead and give her the old... I mean, I would say that's pretty good, huh? Oops, I ripped that one. I cut that one. I wonder if I can cut it at an angle too. Oops, rip. Rip. I mean, it's cutting it kind of, but I think that has to do more with how I'm holding it. Good Lord. I mean, yeah. She's doing good. I told you guys before, I suck at cutting paper towels. And these are bamboo paper towels. We try to be eco-friendly around here. Oh God, well it did that one, so I'm not worried about it. Anyway, if you just barely touch it, man, it really cuts it. So I mean, yeah, she's sharp. There's just no two ways about it. But yeah. All right, guys. Oh God. All right, everybody, there it is, the 8K ALTSTONE Fukami series. I 1000% recommend this series. I didn't really notice any issues. I thought the loading was going to be a problem, but I did not experience a problem with loading and cutting. I get a little over OCD about that kind of stuff anyway, so that's probably on me. But yeah, I recommend it. I don't have any problems, especially for their price. So they'll be back in stock on Amazon soon. They are restocking. They just got to send them from Japan over. I'm assuming they go to a warehouse fulfillment center, and then Amazon updates the stock quantity and whatnot. They actually said to me that with these videos that you guys have been buying some, and some of the other posts I've been making too. So they really appreciate your support, and they are very dedicated to customers. So that's one of the things we're going to work on, is a new stone that they're inventing coming up. They said probably later this year, sometime next year, for the sharpening community. So hopefully we all have some input on that. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. Some new videos going to drop tomorrow and Monday. Remember to comment as well as be subscribed to be entered in that giveaway. Going to give away a knife and a stone. So until then, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Appreciate you. Love you. Peace.